blow dried my hair. I sound like crap. Gavin brought home, I'm pretty sure it was Gavin, brought home a cold bug. He's got a minor cold. I'm getting it worse, as per usual. So all the kids are kind of like sniffling and coughing, so it's just going around, but I feel like absolute crap. Such total crap. Figures. Anyway, let's get into the questions. Alma, since I live near you, I'd love to know what the name of your favorite restaurant. There's a lot of good ones here now. Cactus Club. Absolute #1 favorite. We've gone a lot. It's expensive. Oy. So we don't go as often anymore. Like when we were first dating, we used to go a lot. But I love it because one, the food is always, I've never once had a bad meal there. And the service has always been absolutely excellent. Like no complaint whatsoever. I don't go back to places especially when you're paying decent money, unless the service, because if it gets a little, but yeah, no, the service has always been great. I've talked to other people and they're like, oh, I've had a really bad experience there, whatever. We've always had just really good service, especially when we sit in the lounge. Like in the dining room, it's fine too, but when we sit in the lounge, like the service has always been just top notch. And I like going for happy hour because it's expensive. So yeah, Cactus Club's my favorite. The other one is Congress Beer House. Congress Beer House, is that what they call it? Downtown, because they have their own chefs. So they have some really, really good food. Congress, Cactus Club, and I think, is it the Rook and Raven? I think that's what it's called. It's also downtown. It's another like pub, but they also have their own chef, and they do some really good food. We haven't gone there in a long time. We don't go out much at all anymore. The rare times we get to, we just go to Cactus Club because I'm like, I don't want to deal with anything new. So those are my places. Are you planning on selling any of your supplies like you did in the past? Yes, planning on it. I do. Yeah. My plan was to just do up like boxes chock full of stuff, and I would offer them on Patreon to you guys first, and have it like as a flat rate and not in a way to profit. Like it used to be before, when I would sell supplies, I was trying to like make my money back, etc., like make some money, and I would like reinvest it into like equipment and whatever. But things have changed so much in the last few years, and like I get so much product sent to me and everything else that I don't think it's right to turn around and try and like sell things that were, even if I haven't used them or anything, but like to sell a product that was sent to me for free. It's different when it was like stuff that I would buy. Like it used to be I would get stuff at like really good discounts and stuff because I had connections, and then I would use it and then I could sell it locally, whatever. But yeah, the plan is like I literally have a stack outside my office, like in the hallway. I have a stack of boxes that I'd got, and the plan was to like pack them full, figure out how much my because the shipping is the big one. Shipping, oy. And figure out a way so that I don't lose any money, but I don't need to profit. But it's more to just move this stuff because like I have so much dealing with it. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I honestly don't. I get so overwhelmed when I start looking at it all and trying to figure it out that I'm just like, and then something always happens. I get sick or stupid crap. But it is a plan. Hopefully in the near future, I can deal with that because it would be kind of nice to be able to. Because in a way, I see it still like as long as I recoup and I'm not losing a bunch of money on shipping, if I can just like break even on that, and then get all this stuff out of here, and then people would get like a big, huge, like lots of product worth a lot of money for a very small amount. Because even though the shipping would be expensive, I'm that's a part of it too, trying to outweigh. Because like some box, like I shipped one box to someone I think they were in the Netherlands. This was a few months ago, but it was like $70 for shipping. Holy God. So because of the weight of things like dyes and stuff, it like the boxes can weigh down. So I'm trying to figure out that. So it's how did you and Chris meet? I addressed that in the April AMA, but yeah, we met at the Pride Parade a couple years ago. We'd been talking online a little bit before that, not very long, and then yeah, met up in a public place, and the Pride Parade seemed like a great fit. Why not? So okay, I heard you mention that you're exclusive to Simons and Stamp in your. I heard you mention that you were exclusive to Simons and Stamp in your last video, I believe. Does that mean you are no longer working with Ellen Hudson and affiliate links from her store? Yes and no. I went exclusive with Simon about not quite a year and a half ago. It was so like before I was like, I'm still a freelancer. Now I'm just a freelancer with exclusivity. So yeah, when that happened, like when Simon made me the offer, um, I technically didn't have a choice. Like it just the way everything was going now, but I accepted it because the benefits outweigh the negatives, which is, yeah, I'm exclusive to Simon. So Ellen Hudson, I don't work with them. I still have an affiliate. I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, that's why all my links on my blog, on my YouTube, my social media go directly to Simon Says Stamp. You know, I have my affiliate with them. You know, I still like I kind of work for them, but not really. I'm still like, I'm free and clear to do. I do what I want. I use what I want. Like they're not telling me what to do. You know, it's just an exclusivity deal. I've actually had a couple companies try to weasel in and try to find out like what the deal is to see if they can match it. And I've been very, like, I try to be nice stuff, but at the same time, I've just been kind of honest with people, and I was like, you can't do this. And I wouldn't take it from anyone else because of the fact, one of the main reasons I said yes to Simon and to do this was because I wouldn't be locked into this box of using, say, just Simon brand. You know, if that's all they had, I probably wouldn't have said yes. Because I can't stay exclusive. Like, I've been, you know, on these different design teams where that was what was expected of me. It's like, you only use our brand. You can't promote anyone else. And I was like, no, that's not fun. Like, I like everything. So Simon has so many brands. Plus, like, obviously I've been dealing with Heidi, who owns Simon, and like several of the employees. They have a lot of employees, but I've like interacted with a lot of them, and I really like the company. I respect them, you know, all that kind of stuff. So with Ellen, obviously Ellen is a like very similar business. So I can't work with her, but I will never say anything bad about Ellen, because when the time came and everything went through, and you know, I had emailed Ellen because at the exact same, I'm not even kidding, at the exact same time, Ellen had been offering me, I think it was like a design team position or something, but like there was more, you know, on the table. So I was like weighing out all these options and just, oy. But I said yes to Simon. I wouldn't have taken on more with Ellen anyway. I love the stamps and Ellen as a person. I worked with her way back in the day when things were like new. We were new babies in the industry. I like Ellen. She's awesome. And my only peeve was it costed me a lot to be an Ellen Hudson affiliate. I still am, but like to promote products that were more exclusive to them. The shipping was so expensive. It was so expensive, and like I was hemorrhaging money. But like I wanted to promote Ellen because like there's so many customers, yada yada, whatever. But anyway, when I contacted Ellen, like, because I contacted all the companies I was like, you know, freelancing for, like had, you know, agreements with, all this stuff. And I had said no to Ellen, and then said like, you know, how sorry I was that I was going to this time, which meant like no more links, like public links or anything to Ellen. And she was awesome. Like she was so good about all of it. And she just said like, if something changes in the future, you know, I can probably go back to working with her or whatever. And she's kept my affiliate. So I am still affiliate. I still have an account with them. The link I just keep in my private Facebook group. If I remember, like, I will post my affiliate links with this video that you guys, if you guys want to use them, like, I get credit for. And Ellen has been one of the few that, because she's on a separate program, and that's a whole other story, but she's on a separate program, but she has been consistent about always paying me out if I've accrued, you know, some affiliate income. She pays me out in the beginning of the month every single time without fail. So I keep that like going. And in my private group, also, like if there's a sale or something I know about, I'll promote it, because yeah, I really like Ellen a lot. Like they're a great company. I love the stamps. That one killed me. It did. I really love their brand, like the Ellen Hudson brand stamps. There's so many. I see the new releases and I'm like, wow, it sucks so much. But so that was that one. But yeah, I will post those affiliates because if you guys don't mind using them, like every tiny little bit adds up and it helps keep the lights on and all that shit. So anyway. My question I forgot to ask last month. I wondered whether you find it easier to create with only one brand's product at a time, or whether you prefer to mix and match. I've noticed both Jennifer mcguire and Nichol spohr doing more mix and match videos in recent months. I'm wondering if that is a strategy they're using as a way of dealing with the volume of product that gets sent, like a way to use a bit of everything to feel they're offering value to multiple brands at once, or whether it's something they just personally enjoy as part of their creative process. I don't know, just something that occurred to me. Yes and no. Jennifer mcguire is on her own level. Like, she can do whatever she wants. Well, we all can technically do whatever we want, but how do I explain this so it makes sense? She has such, she's like Christina Warren, like they are so far and above, like the amount of subscribers they have, but Jennifer mcguire especially, like the amount of influence she has. Like, she goes like this sells out for 6 months, you know? Like, she can do whatever she wants and it doesn't matter. And she's good at it too, though, because like she's not like, I know this, she's not all like, I can just promote whatever I want. Like, the way she mixes in products and techniques and everything else, like she has a very, like, but that's where her brain is, her engineering brain and everything else. Like, she does that whole, like, it's all based on technique, and then she'll use different brands to do that technique and all the samples and the examples and everything. And then, like, everything sells out across the board. And companies promote her things because it's her. We all know what we're getting into if we click on her videos, yada, whatever. Nichol spohr is similar to me in a sense on the level of, like, influence and everything else. But she's also on kind of her own sphere because she has some, like, she works for Mama Elephant. I'd kill for that job. She works for Lawn Fawn. You know, so she does a lot of promoting, like, separate, like, specifically for those brands, a lot of it. And then she's with me on Simon, and then I'm sure she's got other things. Like, she's got a lot on her plate. And I think for her, I talk to her every once in a while, but I've never asked her about this, but my thought process with her is, I think she mixes it up with other brands because she has to do so much exclusives. Like, when she's doing all her Lawn Fawn stuff, obviously you can only use Lawn Fawn everything because it's literally for their channel, for their promotion, samples, etc. Same with Mama Elephant, Spellbinders, whatever. You know, like, you have to stick because that's their requirements when you are working for that brand. So I think for a lot of things, when she does mix up, it's just a chance to, like, break out of that, because I know what that feels like. But I think she has it even more because she works for a lot of really, like, big companies. Big in the sense of just... More so it's just me being jealous because it's like, oh, I would kill to work for Mom Elephant. I don't know if I can even handle the work pace. But anyway. So yeah, it's the only reason I don't do that very, like, almost ever is because I'm not at that level where it doesn't matter what I share, companies are going to promote it. Because that's the risk you take. When you keep everything exclusive to one company's brand, using all their stamps, all their dies and cards, there is a higher chance of them reposting it and promoting it. Because they don't ask me, I don't ask them, because it's a lot, like, again, it's freelancing. But if I'm using a mix of products, there's less chances sometimes that companies will promote. It depends, again, it depends on the brand. Smaller brands are usually more open to promoting because it's like they're getting recognition. So that's a lot of reasons why I feel a little more restricted in trying to use all of, like, when I do an MFT card, I'm using all MFT products. When I'm using a Lawn Fawn card, I use all Lawn Fawn products. Is because it gives me a bigger chance of them seeing it and them reposting it and me growing. So, yeah. Although mixing up products and that, it's a good idea. It's just, it's hard for me. It's really hard to get out of that, because it's like, I always want to try and get the biggest chance of getting, like, reposted or shared on Facebook, etc., or them, like, posting it in their newsletter or whatever. Because, yeah, it's all about, like, trying to build the audience. I'm doing this as a business. But yes, mixing it up has its benefits too, because it shows people, like, you can go across all brands and still make great cards, yada yada. It's just, I struggle with it. I want to do it more, but I struggle. So anyway, I have a few questions. Hope it's okay to put them in one comment. Yes, that's fine. Let me know. Yeah, it's totally fine. If you have, like, 20 questions, like, I don't care. What kind of chair do you use at your craft desk? It looks comfy. Yes, I keep this because I don't like giving them free promotion. It's a Clutch brand. It's a gaming chair is what it is. So it's literally meant for, you know, people who play video games 15 hours a day, whatever. And yeah, it's all leather. It has there is actually a separate like lower back support, but I don't like that because it makes me feel like I'm like falling off the chair. My only peeve with this chair is I currently have it sitting at its highest height and it doesn't feel high enough. Like I wish I could raise it about that much more, and it slightly tilts forward. That's my only peeves. I wish I could make it go back a bit more and higher, because like I don't have that long of legs, but I feel like it's like too low. But they're expensive. I spend a lot of time in a chair for work, so yeah, it's the way to do it. You can get cheaper ones. But yeah, my biggest peeve with them is gaming chairs are ugly. Like I got the solid black one. I was able to get it on sale. I think I got mine through Costco, but like everywhere carries them. Not even just this brand. There's a bunch of like other brands that are similar. But yeah, they're built for like proper support, proper posture, yada yada yada, because like gaming is a big deal. So my only peeve is just it's just they're freaking fugly. Like blech. How'd you create your blog logo? Did you use Photoshop or something similar? It was all done for me. It's listed on the sidebar of my blog, the person that I paid to do my blog design. They're a graphic designer, and yeah, not cheap. Not cheap. You pay by the hour usually, and it can get expensive, which for a new blogger, would you recommend having a blog logo before going live? No, don't. Unless you're doing it yourself, or you get it for next to nothing, but don't bother. Like, I did it because I already had a and I wanted to change the style of everything, and I've done that a few times over the years. And for me, it's a business expense, but it's expensive to pay someone, because I don't know how to do a lot of it. Like, you need to know, you know, coding and graphic design and all that stuff. But when you're just starting out, no. Like, don't bother. Just do basic, whatever. Like, no one's gonna care. I've not heard any kitten news lately. How's Marbles? Marbles is fine. She's an asshole. Like, parts of the carpeting, we need to get, we're going to pick up some of that fell away spray this weekend. I'm getting fed up with her. Using the stairs as a scratching post, even though she has scratching posts she uses as well, but she likes the stairs. So she's wrecking the carpet. She's doing that on the furniture and stuff too. So I want to deal with that and start repelling her from all of that. So yeah, but other than that, like, she's good. Like, she's spoiled rotten, and she just annoys me. Like, she's been such a butthead, but the kids still love her. And yeah, like, she's so unbelievably, oh, I thought that was Chris getting back. She's so unbelievably spoiled. It's ridiculous. So yeah, but yeah, oh, random. I haven't been able to like film her because she doesn't do it if she thinks she's being watched. But Veronica, like the oldest, like Marbles is her cat. That's why we got the damn thing, everything. And she'll play fetch with Veronica. Like, Veronica will toss her little nose toy, and she will literally like run and grab it, pick it up in her mouth, and like bring it back to her. Like, she'll play fetch with her, which is just adorable. But she won't do it for anyone else, and she won't do it if she thinks anyone else is watching. Because I was watching it the other day, and she saw me looking, and she just stopped, dropped it, and just like sat there like nothing was happening. She's such a butthead cat. Anyway, okay. Another question. I noticed several months ago that for quite a while you weren't doing MFT release reviews. Did they stop sending you the product for some reason? But it seems now they're doing so. Just something I was curious about. Yes and no. That ties into the whole exclusivity thing. Not just them. There was other companies too. When I went exclusive to Simon, I had several companies, several business owners. I'm not MFT wasn't one at the time. MFT wasn't one of them. That either dropped me like a hot potato or refused to work with me. Some for different reasons. Like, I had at the time, like, I had all these like random companies were coming out of the blue all of a sudden, like ones that I was like, oh, excited about. And then for whatever reason, they decided like they no longer have their products listed with Simon Says stamp. And I'm like a couple of them had decided like we're gonna go exclusive to ourselves and not have anyone wholesale our products. And I was like, that's kind of dumb. You know, just like, you make less money when you wholesale your products to other, like, because the other company is making some of the profit, but more exposure, especially Simon Says Stamp, big company, big exposure. Hello. So some of them I was just like, that's a poor business decision on your part. Whatever. So I can't work with them. That's fine. And then yeah, some of them just, and then there was the few that Simon still sells their product, but they didn't want to continue working with me because of the exclusivity. So I wouldn't be giving them links, only Simon, and they were butthurt about it, or just whatever, they were against it. So there weren't very many, but there were a few that were just not the greatest. And I was just like, not anything I can do about it right now. You know, but most were really good. You know, Honeybee Stamps, I'm still on their design team. They work around it. It's been amazing. Picket Fence Studios, Honeybee, Tonic, but Tonic is more recent. Like, Tonic was only this year, but same thing. Like, they're willing to kind of work around my uniqueness, whatever. Waffle Flower, Spellbinders now, but Spellbinders is also new. That's like still blowing my mind. I've only done one thing so far, but there's more coming. Yeah, so MFT, they were still sending me product, and then they stopped because of the exclusivity. There's a long history there, just a really long history, and I'm not getting into it. Those that are like old school and have known me for a long time, and since the live streaming days, know all the history. But they cut me off for a few months because of the exclusivity, which I wasn't surprised. It sucked a lot because I love their products. I really do. But I was just like, well, one, I can't do anything about it. And two, you know, I'm not that full of myself, but I do know the influence I have. But so I was like, if it's not worth it to you, whatever, you know, whatever. And then they changed policy, whatever, decided it was okay, and started sending me product again, which I was like, yes. But I wasn't doing release and reviews. Not because of that, but because they were trying something for a while. They had a policy in effect that they didn't want us showing the full stamp sets or the full dynamic sets in videos or in pictures or anything like that. That had to do with the whole counterfeiting. Pardon my language if you're not used to me talking like this, but those fuckers in China that have been ripping off the designs. One of the ways they've been doing it, they were literally taking still shots off my videos, and not like any like bigger YouTubers, because like those assholes have stolen my card designs. That's why I make my watermarks like really big, like so it's a lot harder because they've cut them off, and they use those to promote their freaking products, which is irritating beyond everything, because it makes the ones that recognize my work think that I'm allowing it, and no. And like Jennifer McGuire has addressed that too, because they were taking hers and then people were assuming that Jennifer was supporting this, and she's not, obviously. And it really gets under my skin because like they've stolen like card designs, and I've literally seen people copy my stolen card design with the stolen wafer die design that they like. It makes me so unbelievably angry. So anyway, so MFT was trying to combat this, and the reason they were, and this isn't exclusive to them either, lots of companies have literally dealt with this, which again, just, it blows my mind how freaking ridiculous and pathetic people are, is people would order these counterfeit crap, knockoff stamp sets, knockoff wafer die sets. They'd get them, you know, 6 months later, however long it takes half the time, because it takes forever to get them. Like, yeah, you only pay like $2. And they'd be defective. The images would be shit, or the dies didn't work, or they weren't the right shape, or they didn't line up, and all these, like, there's always issues, tons of issues. So what did they do? They would go to MFT, Simon Says Stamp, Ellen Hudson, W+, all these companies, whoever the knockoff design was made from, and try and return them to them and expect a replacement. And it literally has become, all these companies have like wisened up, of course, but it was becoming such an issue, like especially some of these smaller companies, they are struggling, like seriously struggling to make ends meet because of this shit. And like, it blows my mind at how brazen people are. So anyway, so that was happening. So MFT was trying to combat that. Because it was so much easier to prove. It's like, I just have a long font set right here. But it's like, because the big giveaway was, like, if the set looks like this and this is how it's laid out, if they're not seeing that and they're just copying what they see off of cards, etc., then the copy sets won't be laid out like this. Like, they'll have images here and like stuff here, and they wouldn't, which was always a dead giveaway. So I think that was like MFT's thinking behind it. It was easier to prove. Now the biggest thing is just companies just say you have to have proof of purchase. Like, where's your order number? Because if you order from MFT or even or any retailer that, like, legit retailer, and a stamp set is defective or there's something wrong, like, the company you ordered from or MFT, either or, will replace it. Like, they stand behind their products, like, 100%. So that's all that. But if you can't provide proof of purchase from either the legit company you ordered from, because that's who you go to first, or from MFT, then it's a kind of a big, because it's amazing how freaking ridiculous these women are that do this shit. Like, order this, like, counterfeit shit and then try to play. It makes my blood boil. So anyway, so MFT did that for a while, and I put up with it because I didn't have a choice. Like, I was supporting them in that. At the same time, it's like, if I can't show the stuff, like, I could show me stamping the, like, it was hard doing videos. I felt so restricted, and it's like, I couldn't do release and reviews at all. I did one, and Kim, like, the owner of MFT, like, we talked and stuff, and she'd said, like, it's against our policy to do all this stuff. And I was like, you guys are literally tying my hands behind my back. Like, these videos are my bread and butter. And she understood, and it was like, whatever. And I was trying to come up with ways to get around it. But yeah, like, oh, and that was the other thing. Like, MFT, like, all their images online, the images that they would move them. They were laying them out differently, and then they had watermarks, across all of it. Same with the wafer dies. So they were doing that too, so that if they were just tracing the images from the online images, they wouldn't be the same as the actual set. And then they tried, more recently, they did that one. It was only, I think, one release they did that. Instead of showing the image of the set, they were just showing them done in no line coloring, like how they look, so you didn't see, like, the actual outlines. And then the wafer dies, it was how they looked die cut and put together. And it pissed so many people off. That's a whole other video. I'm not even getting into that. Anyway, it didn't work. They contacted me and just said, it's not helping. Like, I think they were actually losing sales in the end because there was just so much going on, and change is scary to people. So they've rolled that back. I am now allowed to kind of do back to what it used to be. I can do whatever I want. I can do release and review videos. I didn't do one for July. I'm so behind. I'm stuck in this weird place yet again where I still like doing the release and review videos. People like them. I get so much bloody effing hatred over them, and just negativity and people flipping out on me. And it's like, usually I don't care, but lately it's been so insane. Like, just one after, like, constantly, just constant stupid bullshit. So I feel overwhelmed, and especially because MFT has been getting really into the interactive stuff, and that's really hard to show in a release and review. Like, look at this, without showing, and yet I struggle with interactive. So I didn't do one for July. I have the August release sitting here, hoping I can do it, because I like doing those videos. And I also feel like once I do the release and review video, it's like, okay, this is what there is, this is how it is, then I can move on to creating with it. So that's just my system of working. It's like, show everyone the release, the products, my ideas, randomness, whatever. And then step 2 is me making things with it. So yeah, trying to figure that out. Also because usually until more recently, I always get things like last minute, like just being in Canada and shipping and everything else. I can't even count the amount of times I've literally got an entire release the day before it goes live. And I'm in a blog hop that day or whatever, so it's like I have less than, 12 hours from the time the package arrives to create, edit, upload, like all these things. And it's like, oh my God. So the release and review videos was always a way for me to, like, show an entire release before I even have a chance to create, because I haven't had time. Like, that's a big thing people bitch about. It's like, you don't even have samples. And it's like, I don't have time to do that yet. I'm going to. But you want to get the release up while it's hot and fresh, you know, hot and ready. Trademark. So yeah, it's frustrating. So frustrating. But more recently, I've, like, MFT sends things earlier. A few companies kind of get stuff to me a bit earlier, but it's still a hit and a miss. Most often, by the time it gets to me, I have a very narrow leeway of actually getting to film ahead of time and make samples. And I'm also a procrastinator, let's be honest. I'm a procrastinator. I do my best work when it's like the 9th hour, every freaking time. Every release, every blog up I'm in, everything. I'm never ahead of time. I am literally like uploading and going live like minutes before the release. So yeah, that's it for now. I feel like crap. I look like crap. My eyes hurt. Everything's like just meh. Poor me. But those are all the questions for now. Like I said, I will list in this. I just, with Patreon, I don't know how. There's no way to me. Yeah, I don't think there's a way for me to have like a pinned private post because it needs to stay private. Like, I keep all my affiliate links and stuff for all the other companies. I have affiliates with, like, still Ellen Hudson. I still have an MFT affiliate link that can go direct to them. Tonic, Honeybee, W+9, Neat and Tang. Like, I've got quite a few. And I have them listed in the private Facebook group. And people can use them whenever they feel like placing an order, there's a sale or whatever, and then I get that little bit of kickback, you know, thrown into my account. So yeah, I'll list them with this video and you guys can choose whether or not you want to use them. No biggie. And that's it for the moment. There will be more coming. I'm now starting, like, the coffee isn't really helping a whole lot. I need to have a nap, I think. I just feel like complete crap. So I will have more coming, and we'll keep doing AMAs. I like doing them. So that's it for the moment, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.